Before we start, let's do this inset I forgot to do before. Select these two edge loops, press Ctrl++ sign to select more, I to inset, type 0.25 and enter to confirm. Now we are going to create the UV seams. Just like in sewing, a seam is where the ends of the image cloth are sewn together. Select this controller edge loop, these Y, X, B and A edge loops, these select and start edge loops, and this D-pad circle edge loop. Press Ctrl+E and select Mark Seam to create a new V-seam. The edges will turn red. Select the left bottom middle bevel edge loop, press Ctrl+E and Mark Seam. Select the right bottom middle bevel edge loop, press Ctrl+E and Mark Seam. Select this inner edge loop of the controller plug, press Ctrl+E and Mark Seam. Repeat this step on the other side. And for last, select this edge loop of the rectangle on the back of the controller, press Ctrl+E and Mark Seam. Press 3 to face selection, click on one face just to make sure nothing else is selected, and with the mouse cursor inside the seam, press L to select them. Notice you don't have to hold Shift to select more than one. After everything is selected, go to the UV editing workspace. This is the UV editing workspace. Here we have the UV editor on the left and the 3D viewport on the right. The UV editor is used for editing UV maps, which describes how a 2D image should be mapped onto a 3D object. The best analogy to understand UV mapping is cutting up a cardboard box. If you were to take a pair of scissors and cut along its edges, you will be able to spread it out flat on a tabletop. As you're looking down at the table, you could say that U is the left-right direction and the V is the up-down direction. On 3D viewport, press U to unwrap and select Angle Based. On UV editor, select All and drag out of bounds. On 3D viewport, press Ctrl+I to invert selection, and on UV editor, select All and drag out of bounds. Invert selection again, rotate -90 degrees, enable Constraint to Image Bounds, and put back inside UV bounds. What I like to do here is to enable UV Sync selection. This will show you on both windows which part of the mesh you have selected. Now it's just a process of distributing the islands inside the UV bounds. You can do it by pressing G to move, or press N to show the sidebar and type the values here. If you want to copy my UV, these are the locations of every island. Controller main UV, X 0.5 and Y full bottom of UV bounds. Rectangle, X 0.5 and Y 0.5. Right button, X 0.5 and Y 0.625. Left button, X 0.5 and Y 0.7. Plug 1, X 0.5 and Y 0.8. And plug 2, X 0.5 and Y 0.9. Make sure to return the rest back inside UV bounds. They don't need to be unwrapped, as we're going to use object coordinate on these parts, but it's important to be inside UV bounds. Select them, press S to scale down a bit, and place them back inside UV bounds. Here I'm making sure the islands are not inverted, selecting half of them and checking if they match on both windows. Here you can see on this rectangle, on UV editor, I selected the right half, but on 3D viewport, it shows the left half selected. This means that any texture you apply here will show upside down. To fix this, press L to select the island, R to rotate, type 180 and enter to confirm. Now you can see they match on both windows. After checking, replace this top plug UV island on top of the bottom one, as they share the same map. Now we need to export this UV layout to be able to create the maps we're going to use. Press A to select all, go to UV, and select Export UV Layout. Select the folder, rename, make it 4K, and click Export UV Layout. And with that, we've finished the 7th part of a SNES Controller modeling course. The next video will be part 8, the controller maps. If you're still here, it means you are liking the content of this course. This took me a lot of time and planning to make it. So please, consider subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, and leave a comment. It's fast, simple, and most important, it's free. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.